Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are tuning in from. This is BS Buddies Podcast. I'm your host, Joe. That's your host, Ian. Hit subscribe. It's easier than blowing $1 million, which we just found out. We previously recorded smart things we would do with spending $1 million. We did it a while ago. Now, we're going to blow $1 million on stupid things that aren't coherent at all with each other, and see how this goes. Ian, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It was a beautiful day outside. I'm energized. I'm ready to be here. I had a lot of trouble working out the math on one of my deals here. So yeah, right now I'm kind of still in the process of thinking how I'm going to work through this last one. So if you guys see me looking a little distracted, just know I'm busy crunching numbers over here to deliver you some of the most horrific, unfortunate money spending habits that have ever graced this planet. I should never be given riches because I will not spend it wisely at all. At all. Terribly. I'll spend it terribly.
So, like I said, last time we did this, we did it like smart and really thought it out on how we would really want to make the most out of $1 million. This time, there was very little thought put in. As you'll see, my first thing is 5 items. 5 items. First one, I'm going to buy 62 show breed llamas.
Specifically 62 of them, huh?
Specifically 62, and they're the lower of the show breed, so they're only $5,000 a pop, making it $310,000.
You know what? That's what a deal. What a. I guess I don't have nothing compared to the cost of purchasing llamas, but you know what? $300,000 for 62 special llamas? Why not? That's a heck of a deal. I'm a salesman. I'd take that deal. Would you take that deal? It's a good deal. I'd take that deal any day of the week.
So
Yeah.
we got to make sure they're fed. And I did learn that this isn't like you shouldn't just feed them this, but we'll figure it out. We got like $80 left over after all this stuff. But they will be fed with peanuts, 25-pound boxes, 1,500 of the 25-pound boxes to be exact,
Oh my God.
for $135,000. And the math on that is it'd be 37,500 pounds worth of peanuts.
Oh my God. That's a
So
lot of people. They're gonna hate you after like 2 days. They're gonna hate you, and they will try to escape. Mark my words. They'll learn how to like shoot the peanuts out of their nose at you and escape or something. I'm gone.
they're going to be fed, though, and they'll be nice and plump for the judges' pleasure. And then the rest just isn't coherent at all.
like it's been coherent so far.
At least like llamas and peanuts kind of mixed, but then I'm like, man, I've barely spent over $400,000. I really need to spend a lot of money. So then I thought motorcycles.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, obvious transition between the two. I can clearly see the connection. You know what I mean?
I
I'm gonna
I'm
turn the
buying
llamas
10 of them at 50,000 a piece. That specifically they're Harley Davidson touring street glides at 50,000 a piece, and we're gonna film it all with my 36 high quality drones for $54,000.
I'm liking where this is going. Man, you got a lot of yours are so much like more realistic purchases than what I
Yeah, the
have put
62
down here.
llamas. But there's one more item. If the llamas get sick of eating peanuts, they
You
can
eat Kit Kats.
they can chew. I should have put Kit Kats. Uh, but they're gonna chew on 285 pouches of Big League Chew.
Oh
I forgot to write down the. Hold on. I forgot the dollar amount.
They're gonna be farting gum bubbles.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I had $1,000 to spend, so $997.50. So I'd have $2.50 to figure out how to feed the llamas. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I believe you. I 100% believe you. They're still gonna be farting gum bubbles all around it. Just
They'll be fine.
full of Big League. Is it all the same flavor, Big League Chew?
I haven't bought it yet.
You got like
so.
a sour apple in there or something. You can really tell when they get the sour apple because you just hear like a bleh from across the yard or something. Found the sour apple. Sucks to be him.
Ian, what is your first scenario?
Well, okay, so I'd like to caveat this with, and I'm sure you saw me writing down here as I'm going. A couple of mine have operating costs, and I'm not entirely sure.
You bought a monster
There's a
truck,
lot.
didn't you?
No, actually, I didn't. I'm proud of myself for that revelation. There are some like expenditures in here that I'm not sure how much they would cost, and I'm not entirely sure if what I have left for like operating costs would cover what I'm trying to do, but it would cover part of it at the very least. So we're gonna see how far we get in my first scenario. The first thing I'm buying is 20,000 Furbies.
Why Furbies?
Because the second thing that I'm gonna buy, and this is important for the Furbies, is I'm gonna buy a twin-engine plane. The 20,000 Furbies. God, I forgot how much is the 20,000 for. God, what were they? Hang on, I don't remember how much the Furbies got. They were like 25. I was like $500,000 for 20,000 Furbies. They're like $25 a pop. And then for an additional $200,000, I'm gonna buy just like a twin engine plane.
The plane is cheaper than the Furbies.
Yes. It is necessary that the plane has a bomb bay in it. And I've left $200,000 left over for fuel, food, maps, operating costs, and all things like that. Because my entire plan is I'm just going to fly around the United States and care package / expedient delivery Furbies to people all over for no reason. I'm just gonna be the rich guy who just flies around and is like, "Oh, there's Seattle, bombs away." It's gonna rain Furby.
So are they gonna get their own like parachutes to go down, or are you just sending them down no parachute? And
Straight piss missile, straight into the ground. There's nothing to really stop them. I wanted a plane that was low and slow enough to get under radar. I didn't need anything really big that could get easily picked up and intercepted. I wanted to be able to hide, and then I could just like stop at runways, rearm with Furbies. I suppose I should have allotted maybe a little. Maybe I could bump it down to like 10,000 Furbies, so I can get batteries for them and everything. But I feel like 20,000 is a good solid number that wrap my head around.
I mean, you are going across the whole United States, and you need that gas money for Hawaii and Alaska because you don't want to leave them out.
Yeah. Maybe Canada gets a couple in there. Watch out, Saskatchewan. Watch out, random moose in the middle of Saskatchewan. There's a Furby headed for you. Just like flying over. Look, there's an indigenous hut. Quick, this will scare the shit out of them. The gods are angry. They've sent this little demon to us. Hi! You just watch them eyes blink.
Feed
Be
me.
gone. Feed me. They're all stabbing it with spears and it's still talking.
Well,
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of forethought put into that one. It's
No,
just
that's okay.
like I said.
That's
When you told me scenarios, I was like, I need to airdrop Furbies across the United States. Was the only thing that I thought.
um.
I don't know, man.
So I'm hoping this is the only illegal thing that we're doing. Um.
Probably not. My next one's a doozy. It's even worse.
So for this one, for no reason at all, reading this back, it's just so random. The first one I'm starting off with, we're going on the black market and buying a kidney for $120,000.
I swear to God, if the next words out of your mouth are, and then I got a hot dog cooker stick, I'm gonna just disconnect right now and I'm gonna leave.
No, it might be worse because we're gonna buy mannequins, specifically 335 of them.
So we got one kidney, 35 mannequins. Oh boy.
No, 335.
Oh, 300. Yeah, 335, man. My thought. Somehow that doesn't help. Like, you know what? I'm ready. Just tell me what the fuck.
uh, that was for $100,500. And
Wow,
then
that's mannequins are pretty cheap.
for the majority of the cost, it's 300,000 pounds of lemons. For $600,000.
Oh my God, what is that? You gonna like bury the kidney in a pile of lemons, and you're like, all right, kids, have at it, and then just like rain down mannequins. If you get tackled by a mannequin, you lose. Whoever finds the kidney gets the transplant.
So this I think kind of helps with the lemons, my last item. Kind of helps with the lemons, maybe the mannequins, the kidney, it's nothing's going to help that. I don't That's just where my mind went and um we're going to go with 448 platinum grade bomb bats. It's a baseball bat brand that supposedly is indestructible for the most part.
It's for the kids to beat the shit out of each other. Put the kidney in the pile of lemons.
I was thinking like
Some
batting
of you
practice.
will be chosen. Some of you will be chosen to receive a weapon. Step forth and take your prize. Awesome! Immediately.
And if you
hide
guys
the kidney in a mannequin, in the lemons. Give the kids baths. What are you doing? I'm pretending to be the American healthcare system. Have at it, children. I've gone mad with power.
Oh, that's so true. By the way, the bomb bats are $179,200. $400 a bat.
That is.
I've
I feel
almost
like
bought
those
one
bats
before.
must be more expensive than the mannequins.
They are. They actually are.
We got 300 mannequins for a hair over 100 grand, and we got how many bats did we get?
448. It was 400 for one bat, 300 for a mannequin.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I want to
Some
see how much
mannequins will
money
be
is left
armed with
over.
bats.
So, you'd have $300 left after that.
Oh, sweet. $300
You could buy
to
another
spend on
mannequin.
I was gonna say $300 you could spend on a bottle of like champagne and sit on a lawn chair while you watch the kids go at it. Now this is entertainment. I forgot I hate champagne. Dump it out.
trying to figure out my final. Dang it! I gotta change one of mine on my last one. Ian, you start with your next one.
All right. Well, you'll notice that my second scenario has a common theme that it shared with the first one. So first up, I figured 15 hot air balloons for about, they're roughly 30 grand a piece. So
That's
that's
not bad.
$450,000 for 15 hot air balloons. I'm not ready. I don't think you are ready for the 15 tornado sirens for 10 grand a piece. Or excuse me, 15 grand a piece, which brings us out to 300,000. I think if I did that, no, that's not correct. What did I figure for the? Are they 10 grand a piece?
I just found out for
Maybe
my
not.
last one I went $1,000 over, so I had to fix that.
Pish posh, it's fine. I don't remember how much I had for the tornado sirens, but I remember that my numbers figured out for 15 tornado sirens is about $300,000.
So we got
And then, of
15
course-
hot air balloons, 15 sirens. If I'm following.
Yes, 'cause
Okay.
the sirens are going to be mounted on the hot air balloons.
I had
Obviously,
the feeling.
we need some generators to run them. So we have 15 generators for $37,500. 1,000 water balloon packs, like the $40 packs you can get at Walmart. So about 66 packs per balloon for 40 grand. 500 gallons of paint for $25,000. That's about 33 gallons per hot air balloon.
What color paint?
And then I don't know. I was thinking white, green, just a mishmash.
Okay.
Just a mishmash. Just figure about $50 a can.
You asked me about the
And then
Big League Chew, so I wanted to ask about the paint.
That's fair. I'm thinking like mostly your primary colors, like blues and reds and greens, and you throw a white in there, maybe a black. It's just a good hodgepodge. And then a film crew for 1 week, $70,000. We're gonna make people think it's the Rapture, and we're just gonna be throwing water balloons filled with paint out of the hot air balloons with the tornado sirens going, and then the remaining $77,500 will be donated to charity to help people recover from the traumatic experience that it will be to see 15 air balloons just coming over your city, just throwing paint bombs everywhere.
Do you think
Like
you
I
would
said,
be
very
shot down?
100%, 100%. They would just. I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that radio communication, like, "Oh my God, sir, the city is under aerial attack. Scramble the jets," and then jets just come on. Sir, it's hot air balloons. There's hot air balloons throwing water balloons filled with paint down onto the city below. We'll shoot him down, and then just going through them. Take a little bit too, because like essentially a hot air balloon, it's already got a hole at the top to help let the gas escape so it can maintain pressure and doesn't just float away into the stratosphere, right? So when they put more holes in it, they're just going to slowly descend, and they'll just start hucking the balloons fast as they can really get them out of the basket in time. I don't know why. I just felt like terrorizing people, and then like a film crew for like a week,
Why?
10 grand a day, $70,000. You want to document the experience,
Question. Why
Yes.
are your two both attacking from the air?
It's where they least expect it, right? Like nobody sees a twin-engine Cessna flying and thinks, "I bet that thing's gonna drop Furbies on me," and then boom, they're right there in your face. Same thing, you see a bunch of hot air balloons taking off. You're like, "Oh, cool! Look, it's like a hot air balloon festival." Is this paint And then you look up and you just see all these balloons falling, and you're like, oh my God. Plus, the ecological disaster that would follow would be unprecedented on scale. So I might go down in history as a bad guy, but you will remember my
We-
name. I'll use water soluble paint at least, not oil based. I won't be
I thought you were gonna say lead based.
that. Lead base. You just catch one of the guys up in the basket. Sorry, it tastes good. Filling the balloon up and throwing it out.
Your next one is gonna be like things coming out of the ground now.
Close, very close.
Oh,
Very, very
great.
close.
My last one would just be a super fun night out with the boys. Super fun day with the boys.
It's very heartwarming. It's very sweet. It's very not at all.
So
close to it.
Oh, just wait. First, we're gonna buy a house for $225,000. Then we're gonna buy 10 Bond Tool 16-pound sledgehammers.
We're gonna wreck the house. Yes.
And then we're gonna buy 10 side-by-sides to drive
Yeah,
through the
baby!
house.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That my man.
And then I'm just adding this one more for me. Then the guys can just join me if they want. Gonna buy a half pipe for skateboarding, $10,000 one to put in the backyard.
I'd break a bone. I'd scrape the shit out of myself. I'd do something.
If you break a board, it's okay. Cause I'm buying 3,848 of them. I had to get rid of 10 of them to lower the cost.
To even off
That's what sent me over the
Oh.
edge.
That's tough. We can't all have everything we want in these scenarios. You gotta cut some costs, cut a few corners here and there, belay the overheads. You really can't burn through what you want. So it's tough, but I understand the sacrifice you had to make with this.
Yeah, I had to settle for spending $461,760 on skateboards instead of like the 463,960 or whatever.
Damn. We all have to make sacrifices in this life, and I appreciate yours, Joe.
I don't even
I
know if the
appreciate
math is right for that, but it's I have the money. I'll do with it what I want. I'm not going to terrorize people. I'm just going to give them
Yeah.
a show or make them fight for a kidney or destroy a house.
To be fair, I'm not going to terrorize anyone on my last scenario, but I am going to confuse future generations.
As you take one last sip.
I'm gonna run some quick maths. All right. So if I do this, I adjust some numbers, and I only get 10,000 of them. I think that will
Only 10,000.
Well, okay, so before any of you out there saw any of this, before we started recording this, when Joe first presented the idea to me, I first thought pull tabs, and so under my scenario 3, I have pull tabs written and then crossed out. So I'd like to imagine that my scenario 3 is just me, put it all on red. Sir, this is the 4th time in a row you've bet $50,000 on red and you've lost. Do it again! One of them I'll win! And just sitting at the casino, just going back to the ATM, pulling out cash after cash.
It gets so bad to the point where you're like, okay, one last time on red. Sir, this is an Arby's.
Can I get it all on red, please? Sir, this is a Burger King. Please get out of the drive-thru. Oh, come on! Speedo's kicking me out! Where's that clown? I'm gonna go beat his ass for some extra cash. Oh.
Don't gamble.
Okay. So my actual scenario 3 is 10,000 fushigis.
Are you just pulling things we've said in previous videos and just adding them?
Kind of, yes, kind of. But once again, like the Furbies, right? Everyone remembers the Furbies as a curse, just like everyone remembers the fushigis as a scam. Which for the longest time, I never really understood how in the world it was a scam because, like, you can clearly see in the commercial when he's doing the thing that it's just like a little metal ball encased in plastic. So I was like, what's cool about it? He's just rubbing the ball around in his hand. But no, we're going to confuse future generations because we're getting 10,000 fushigis for $400,000, a yacht for $200,000,
A cheap yacht.
and the remaining $300,000. Part of it for operating costs, we need, but the majority of it is going to be used to preserve these fushigis, like box and all, in resin, and then we're just going to dump them over the side of the ship into the ocean, so that way, 100, 200, 1,000 years from now, when our technology's advanced and they're dredging the bottom of the ocean, they're gonna be like, oh, what's a box? This looks like it's from like a millennia ago. What is it? And it's just a fushigi, and inside will be the little paper instructions, and they'll just be looking at it going, all right, this is weird, and then it'll be eventually a global phenomenon, a race to find the fushigis at the bottom of the ocean. How many are there?
There's just a note in
And they
resin too, and it's like, there are 10,000 of these. Find them all.
This ball, magic existed in our time. This ball is proof. You can use magic. Learn how to do it. Just like totally throw them way off course. Just like make them think that we were all like nuts or something. In one of them, hide like an old like DVD that has like a recording of the old Fushigi commercial, so that when they find it and they see it, like, oh, we've been scammed. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist the temptation of harming people with Furbies and confusing future archaeologists.
And destroying the planet ecologically.
I'd figure out how much it would cost to like get a tour of like one of the Great Pyramids of Giza, like hide one in one of the catacombs or something. Yeah,
Well,
ancient Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II enjoyed playing with his fushigi. Sun god Ra is often depicted with a fushigi.
well, we're gonna go to quotes after that. I got one on friendship by Martin Luther King Jr. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend.
That's wonderful. That's very well thought out, very philosophical, introspective, makes you look into your soul a little bit. Once again, unlike mine, money will only make you more of what you already are, which apparently in my case is a psychopath, but we can't all be winners. Some of us got to take one for the team over here.
Well, with that, thank you for watching. What would you waste $1 million on if you could? Subscribe.
My ideas.
Subscribe to Become a Bud today. We will see you next time when we answer another old-timey sphere. We test its might yet again.
Until then, take her easy now.